Hey everybody, this is Betting 101 with a couple of bettors. This week we're going to go through buying points. Definitely something that you should know if you're betting. So this is a pretty simple one, so it should be quick.
It is easy.
Basically, buying points is the option provided by the sports book where you can improve your spread, but you'll have to pay a little bit more money to do so. People talk about the hook. The hook is basically just the half a point to get you to your spread to be the nearest whole number. Speaking of which, this is the most recent example of this Christine's going to walk through, which was the Bills last week.
Oh, yeah, they were favored by 10.5.
10.5 points against the Packers, which they should have covered.
They did not cover, and I will apologize for that later on in the actual podcast. So they were favored by 10.5 points. That means they technically have to be up by 11 in order for you to win your money. So, for example, what Josh did, so he decided to buy half a point down. In this case, losing by the hook, which is what happened. Buffalo won by exactly 10. They didn't get the 10.5. So he was actually able to push on that one. So he ended up pushing, which means, for those of us that don't know, he got his money back. He didn't lose it, but he didn't win anything, all because he bought the hook.
Yeah. And, you do it especially around those key numbers we talked about in the last Betting 101 segment where it's football, it's threes, it's sevens, it's tens. So when there's a spread that's right around there, you might want to think about buying the half a point. This way, at least if it hits on that whole number, you'll push instead of lose the bet. So how do you do it? In your betting apps, which they're all pretty similar, whether it's Caesars or FanDuel or whatever it is. This is BetMGM's app. We just picked a random one for the week that was around a key number. So if you think about the Packers versus the Lions, it's a -3.5 spread, and it's at -105. So normally, the typical juice that we talked about last time would be -110. This is -105, so it's a little bit cheaper if you wanted to bet the Packers, but it's cheaper because it's 3.5 points. So if it hits on that 3 number, you don't push. So what happens is it gives you a little thing that says buy the points. And when you click that, it allows you to buy different numbers of points. So you don't have to just buy a half a point. You could say, forget it, I want the Packers at 2.5. But if you want the Packers at 2.5, instead of -105, you have to risk an extra $60 to get the 2.5. But if the number lands on 3, you'll win your bet and not just push.
Remember, a field goal kick is worth 3 points.
Right,
So.
exactly.
It's a good number.
But if you wanted to get it at the 3 points, because you think it might hit on that 3, but you'll push in that instance, you'll have to put up an extra $30. So you could decide to bet the Packers -3.5 at -105, or pay $30 more to get it at a push at 3 points. Or if you wanted to win at 3 points and get them at -2.5, you'd have to pay 60 extra bucks to do it. So if you want to put up a little bit more money, risk a little bit extra, but then have a better spread in your favor, you might want to think about buying points. We like to do it when it's a half a point around one of the key numbers like 3, 7, and 10 in football.
And choosing Packers was not random. Check out episode 10. And you'll see why.
All right, everybody, that's Betting 101, buying the points. Good luck out there, and I hope you win.